everybody, welcome to Kimmel's Irish Pub. Time for another movie review. Tonight's movie, The Good Neighbor, right? So it's about two neighbors who become friends, although they're kind of different, but then one neighbor hits a girl, like on a bike or something like that, and then everything changes. I don't know, that's all I know. I've had it on my list for a while. It's on Hulu. It's an hour and 46 minutes long. It's 6.0 on IMDb with 8,232 people rating it. Jonathan Rhys Meyers is in it, and Luke Kirkerick is also in it, who I think I know. But other than that, I don't recognize anybody. But let me get into it, find out what it's about, give you a better idea, let you know what I think. Stick around. I'll be back. Hey everybody, we are going to do a quick check-in. We're watching The Good Neighbor. We're at the 59-minute, 56-second mark. 59:56, that's kind of cool. 45 minutes left, so well over halfway, but I thought I'd check in anyway. I'm not sure IMDb is 100% correct, but it's regardless. This, an American man, I forget his name, whatever. He moves to... I don't even know what country they're in, to be honest with you. But it's a beautiful country. But anyway, he moves there. He's a journalist. He had a breakup with his girlfriend. Decides to pick up and move, from what I gather, into this home that his boss, who hired him, is lending to him so that he can go there and write for whatever paper they're in, right? And next door to him is Robert. That name I know. And they kind of become friends. And they're not different. It made it seem like they're like two different people, but they're really not. I mean, I don't know. The one guy, Robert, seems lonely, you know, and really wants a friend kind of thing, but it's not over the top. And the other guy's new and looking for companionship. They become friends. They go out for the night, and that's when they hit the girl on the bike, and they happen to meet her at the club before that, and then boom. Okay, so they run. Right, they were drinking, they take off, and it makes you, you know, think like, whew, you know, that's a tough position for them to be in, whatever. So that's what happens. And now they're both, I'll say, in cahoots, but, you know, like Robert's all in. He's like, man, you know, he's going to protect him and do whatever he can to make sure this secret stays quiet. Meanwhile, the girl's sister, well, let me back up a step, he starts writing an article about the hit and run, his own hit and run, right? Because it gets assigned to him when he writes it. Because of that, the sister of the girl finds him and befriends him, like, oh, you wrote a great article, maybe you can help me, we want to find that person who did it, knowing he's the one who did it, right? And now you can start to see a little bit of sparks fly. And it's like, whoa, I mean, okay, you had a few drinks and you hit somebody and killed them. I mean, that's pretty awful. You ran, that's pretty awful, and now the sister comes around and you're going to start a relationship with her. It's like, what? So but meanwhile the neighbor is, you know, still wants to be friends with him, and it's not like he's like the other guy's not completely awful. He buys him a grill, but then of course he wants a grill for him and he cancels on him, all that kind of stuff. So you can kind of see where it's coming into like the friend fatal attraction piece of it, but we're not there yet. I'm just predicting. So I don't know. So far so good. It's not bad. I do recognize one of the other actors in it. I'll bring it up at the end if you're still here and listening, but that's not a big deal. So, and I'll figure out what country they're in too. So if you stick around, there's a lot more to find out. I'll be back. Hey everybody, we're at the credits of The Good Neighbor, and you have to ask yourself after watching this, which one was the good neighbor? I mean, think about what I told you at the check-in, right? I mean, who's good and who's not good? Now, you know, things happen after the check-in that, you know, might define them a little bit more, but I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it is a little predictable. I will say that, except for where they decide. You can tell where it's going to go, right? Like I said, it's leading down a path, and it's just like how are they going to wrap this all up. So, and I won't tell you. I do think it you know, I think it was a little abrupt, the ending, I think. I mean, I get everything, makes sense. Want a little bit more, want to see what goes down, you know. But they kind of, not everything's tied up in a nice little bow in this one. There's like half a loop, but then pulled through kind of bow, right? So, you know, I'm interested in that, but I respect that. That's okay. You don't have to do that every time. I want more, and that's probably what they meant to do to people like me. I like Jonathan Rhys Meyers. I think he's pretty talented. Seen him in a couple of different ones. Oh, the other actor was Bruce Davidson. Seen him in a lot of different things. But Luke Kleintank, never heard of him. And this takes place in Europe. I mean, I guess I probably could have said that, but now I looked like to see where it was. Laviton or something like that. Looks very pretty from what they a lot of good architecture. The buildings are really cool looking. Of course, I'm not very cultured. I've barely been out of the country. Barely get out of Pennsylvania, and if I do, it's nowhere. You know, I mean, like, been to Vegas and stuff like that, but I mean, like, nowhere that's rich in culture, I'll say, instead of just like where you can go to hang out and party stuff. So anyway, enough about me and what I'm like. But in the end, this movie, it was good. I think to myself also, like this guy, our main character, who was David. We got David, he's the American who moves in next door. Robert has already lived there, wanting the friend. So David, I look at David and I mean, like, okay, don't get me wrong, obviously a good looking fella, but he's not like Superman good looking. I already forget his name, you know who I mean, Henry Cavill. But he's able to sisters in minutes, you know, land sisters in within a week kind of stuff. So I don't know, that was kind of like, hey man, no effort needed, just walk around and that's what happens. So but you know, bravo to him. So in the end, fun movie, definitely entertaining, mindless kind of stuff. You don't have to, it's not intricate or anything like that, and slightly predictable. Pretty good acting. I did like David. I like him initially. You kind of like his character. He seems like a good guy. I started watching We Own This City. He reminds me of the guy in there too, and I thought they were the same person when I saw the first one. I don't think they're the same person, but they look very similar. They have the same kind of mannerisms, I'd say, look, and almost what appears to be like same type of personality. I don't know, whatever. But now I'm just throwing out weird facts about me and about guys that I don't know and stuff like that. It's late, but there you go. Check it out. Like I said, it's on Hulu. It's interesting. It's worth the watch. A little long, hour and 47 minutes, but not too bad. It didn't feel like a drug on. All right, like this review. All right, that's it. I'm done. Thanks for tuning in. Kimmel's Irish Pub.